$12.7 million views, 62,000 subscribers, 346 videos, and countless miles. That's been my life, off and on, for the past decade, making a digital catalog of better days that will be available for generations to come. However, what most of you don't know is that I have actually been preserving history for far longer. Prior to my YouTube aspirations, I started a Facebook group called Retro Jamestown in 2010, where I researched and cataloged the history of my hometown and even made some pretty cringy videos on my Sony megapixel camera. All this is to say, one thing is clear. I love telling stories and evoking emotion. I love thoughtful conversations and dialogue that change the mind or challenge the mind to really think about why we feel the way we feel about anything, really. But let's get to the task at hand, shall we? Welcome to Los Angeles and the world-famous Bonaventure Hotel and Galleria shops. This is one of the most photographed buildings in the world, and for good reason. This 367-foot tall, 33-story hotel is a shining spectacle of glass, steel, and concrete. Designed by the somewhat controversial John Portman, this postmodern skyscraper is a city within a city, and although its prominence is hanging on by a thread, it still is a dominating structure that leaves one in awe. This hotel and shopping center has been the backdrop for dozens of movies and television shows, music videos, fashion shows, and even political events. Some of note include Rain Man, In the Line of Fire, True Lies, Interstellar, and many other feature films that have called the Bonaventure their digital playground and backdrop. Of course, what ties all of this together, you might ask, and makes it relevant to my channel, is that this is also home to a shopping mall in some respects, the Bonaventure Galleria. This is the portion of the hotel where the reality of retail is realized at the current moment. Dozens of empty storefronts and restaurants that sit frozen in time in this massive structure are just forgotten about. Floors 4, 5, and 6 are basically sandwiched in the middle of a semi luxury hotel, almost camouflaged by the overpowering concrete and endless curves that this building possesses. And boy, oh boy, what a structure it is. Hello, everybody. This is Anthony, creator of Ace's Adventures. Welcome to my 10th anniversary special, a unique property that I have known about and has been in the background for many years. And turns out that my wife had a conference here for a week, so it must have been fate. Almost 10 years to the day, at midnight, at the exact time we checked into the hotel, my channel hit the 10-year mark. It was April 9th, 2016, when I decided to walk over to the West Seneca Children's Development School and just start taking some video. I have always been interested in history and telling stories, and doing so in video format via technology has been a extremely incredible journey for me. So here we are 10 years later. I know that I have been away here and there being busy with life, but I am for sure this time back for my 10th anniversary special and tour of many properties this coming year. This coming summer, I am going to get back to doing what I love, and I believe that I do just as well as anybody, which is document things, not just malls primarily, but things that interest me and have an aesthetic scope to them. So this property I have known about for quite a while, and like once again, just never really got to it. And what's funny is that for as photographed as it is, the retail portion of it has I kind of feel like has been undocumented, so to speak. I did some research, and while doing that, there was not really anybody in any retrospect, even from the Dead Mall community, that really did a proper dive on this place. So knowing that I was going to be staying here for 5 days, even though I was busy with the missus doing some of her stuff for her conference, of course I found the time to walk around here. And did I ever? I walked these halls for hours and hours, sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning. And I'm just going to share my thoughts and experience on this place. I gave you a little brief piece that I wrote down, and you guys know my style is just to kind of go off the cuff here. So this is a rather long video. It's almost 40 minutes in total, but given the amazingness and gravity of how cool this place is from an architectural standpoint, I thought that I wanted to make sure I covered every inch and angle that I could. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the current state of the property and what I think is going to happen to not only it, but also a brief mention of what I think some good news might be for retail. So first off, this property is stunning. It's huge. It makes you feel very small, and you feel dominated by the hard lines and the curves and the seats and the plants and the lighting and just the overall structure. It's just an amazing property. Because it's such a dominating landscape, I don't foresee anything happening to it anytime soon, I hope. However, its sister property in Detroit is rumored for demolition, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens with that. But given that this is right in the middle of downtown Los Angeles, I can't foresee it going anywhere right now. Plus, even though floor 4s, 5, and 6 of this property are pretty much a ghost town, the hotel is doing relatively well, I believe. It is somewhat dated. And unfortunately, they have these light pillars that you'll see in some of the shots that used to have planters in them. So they have done some post modernizing of the property, unfortunately, but there's some things that you just really can't change, and I'm thankful for that. So we're walking here through the many empty corridors that house shops and restaurants that are now just endless right turns depending on which direction you're walking. And it's just, like I said, it's the best thing I can say about this place is that you just feel so overwhelmed by the density and just the mass of this structure, these tall concrete towers, and you just feel so overwhelmed. It's really quite an emotional feeling. And I did walk around quite a bit. There is a a lot of meeting rooms. There's some restaurants. There's like three restaurants left in this property. There is a lot of conventions that go on here. So it's being used in spite of the fact that a portion of the property, primarily the dining and retail section, is kind of abandoned. And what I don't show you here, because it was difficult to film while people were eating up there, is there is a rotating restaurant on the 35th floor called LA Prime. It's a steakhouse, and it rotates. I think it takes about 1 hour for the property to fully rotate up there, but pretty awesome. I'll try to include some pictures if I can find some online here in the video. So that's really about it. There's going to be a lot of music, a lot of ambiance. I'm going to come back here at the end and talk a little bit more. But I want the video to speak for itself, and I want that to dominate what you're seeing. Like I mentioned, just I'm going to give you a couple quick more things here. Number one is that I am going to be back this summer. I will be back producing content. I understand that everybody and their brother is doing this now. I'd like to think that I had a part in inspiring that among many other creators. But everybody is doing this now. I don't know if it's just, I don't know what totally inspired it, if it was partially me and some other creators, or if it was the Urbex trends. I don't know, but everybody and their brother is filming mall videos. It's inundated now. But I'm here to reclaim my spot, so to speak, and put out some pretty dope content for you guys over the summer. I know last summer I said this was going to be the summer of malls, and I failed miserably at that. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, life takes precedence, and my son is my top priority, as he always will be. But he's going back home to mainland China with the family for a few months, so I will have an abbreviated time off, so to speak, to get out and film some stuff. So one thing I want to mention here before I let the video play and insert some funky tunes is there is hope. There is hope for retail. I read a recent report that the generation after mine, your 20 and 30-year-olds, even your late teenagers, their habits are changing, and Amazon and other digital companies are experiencing revenue drops because they are saying that studies are showing now that people are once again longing for a in-person experience and instant gratification, aka buying and experiencing things in real time and not waiting for them and dealing with the hassle of returns and waiting for stuff in the mail. So we are seeing new companies pop up. We are seeing new trends. Even though it's not new, I mean, places like Raising Cane's and different restaurants are popping up all over the United States. The Buc-ee's gas stations are creeping their way north, and people, even though they're not direct retail, they're kind of sort of related. People are starting to crave an in-person experience again. Maybe that's just a new generation demanding things that their parents liked. Me. God, I'm such a boomer with that comment. But, there's hope. There's hope for new in-person, maybe new retail experiences and us learning from our recent past and realizing that we need to engage with the consumer and make things fun and have a fun experience, have a fun dining experience. Go to a store that has interesting architecture and has some color and design. When my wife and I were out in LA here recently, we went to a really cool faux restaurant that was 2D. The building was 2D design, and it was popular and it was happening because it was something cool and different. And I can only hope, as we look at these movie posters and give you a better idea of some of the films that were taken here, that maybe we're turning an unexpected corner. And even though the old malls of the past are being demolished left and right like crazy, Cincinnati Mills, everywhere. Northwest Mall in Houston, malls are being torn down. Century 3, of course, left and right. Maybe a new experience is going to pop up from that. Maybe like I mentioned in my last video, the shopping plaza with the unique, cool experience is going to make a comeback. Because, we as humans still want the human experience. And maybe it's partially because COVID is kind of in the rear view mirror now, finally, at long last. And people are getting outside again. And I understand that, which I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole, that politically things are crazy right now and people are at each other's throats and there's this and that going on in the world, people still want to have experiences and live life. When we were in LA, Coachella was packed. People were out doing stuff. So maybe we're turning that corner and heading towards a better but new mall, so to speak, where people want to get out and do stuff. And that's what I love to hear. So, at any rate, enjoy some more tour here of the Bonaventure Hotel, and I'll be back with some closing thoughts at the end of the video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Please, I have been away for a while, and the algorithm does not love me right now. So, if you are watching this video, I kindly ask that you please interact. It takes 5 seconds. Leave a comment, leave a like, please. The more comments and stuff and the more interaction, the more the algorithm will get this video out to as many people as possible. I want to reach a new audience. I do have a Discord server now that I have started called Ace's World. You just have to verify your identity. I will leave the link in the description below, and please follow me on Instagram at Aces Adventures 1. I will leave a link for that in the description below as well. So enjoy some tour here as we're going through this kind of backroom vibey conference hall here, and I'll be back with some closing thoughts here at the end.
Step into the shopping center of the future, a world filled with exciting ideas. The 21st century is here today. Imagine more than 50 shops and restaurants on 5 different levels. Casual elegance in a breathtaking atmosphere. The shopping gallery in the Bonaventure Hotel is the new downtown Los Angeles. An experience you'll never forget.
So as we get towards the end of the video, I just want to reiterate once again, thank you to everybody for 10 years of support. Once again, I'm sorry that I haven't been as active lately as I once was, but I promise you that this summer will change. I miss making content. I never stopped loving making content, but unfortunately my life got in the way and things change. You know, people grow up, things change. I still have a passion to do this. I am going to always be unapologetically who I am. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a good creator, and I know that I can make some interesting and good content for people to consume in my own unique way. So to those who don't like me, that's too bad. To those that do, thank you for your support. I will always be who I am going to be. We are going to be getting near the end of this video. I thank you for joining me for almost 36 minutes on this tour of the incredible Westin Bonaventure Hotel and Bonaventure Galleria shops. It's been a pleasure to bring this recording to you, and I'm looking forward to getting back out on the road very soon and filming more things and trying to document stuff before it is gone, because stuff is just getting torn down at a pace like we've never seen before. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. I do want to mention just a couple more things once again. Please, I encourage you, if you like my content and you are watching it, please push it out to your friends. Please engage with me. I do reply to almost every comment, or try to, on my YouTube channel. So leave a like, leave a comment, and I will be sure to reply to you. Please make sure, once again, you're following me on Instagram at Aces Adventures 1. That's the physical number 1. I did create a Discord called Aces World. It's a nice, safe space for people to come and hang out and talk with me on a personal level. And after much consideration and deciding that everybody else is doing it, so I might as well bring it back, I am returning my Patreon for those of you that want to support me. Anybody who contributes $10 or more a month, you will get your name added to the end of the credits in the videos starting next video, and I will add more tiers as I go on. But you know what? There's no shame, because I am just your average guy trying to make a living off of my normal 9-to-5 job, and these videos are expensive. It's expensive to put gas in my vehicle and travel and do hotels and all that fun stuff. So several people have asked me about where my Patreon went, so I decided to bring it back. And once the summer gets rolling, I'll try to get some merch and stuff out. I'm going to do the best I can while I have this free time here. So thank you once again. It's great to be back with you all officially. Thank you for 10 years of support, and I look forward to many, many more. This is Anthony, creator of Aces Adventures, and we'll see you in the next video.